Hi, Rosita. I finished inputting the data in the spreadsheet, so can I go home now? What? I mean, even you just went outside and aren't doing any work, so that means it's alright if I go home now, right? Fiorina, I'm still negotiating with our clients for a business deal, you know? I'm not outside not doing any work. I'm currently at our client's office. And besides, do you know what time it is right now? Or is it that time flows differently just around you? What? I don't know what you're talking about. It's still 2 in the afternoon. You still have 3 hours until you can go home. Yeah, but I'm finished with work. I don't have anything to do anyways. If that's the case, then get some work to do from our manager. I already told you that he's in charge of educating the new employees, right? You can't just go home because you finished work early, you know. You get paid to work a specific number of hours here. What? Can't I just do that tomorrow? What do you mean by educating the new employees, even? You sound like a mother-in-law that's bullying her son's wife. Huh? A mother-in-law? Yeah! Just because you're the department head doesn't mean you can talk down to me like this. Besides, you're already 43, right, Rosita? I bet you're just jealous because I'm still at the youthful age of 20. Let me guess, you're the type of person that bullies their son's wife at home, right? That's not right, you know. Just so we can be clear, I'm single, you know? I don't have any children either. What? But you're already 43! Isn't it already too late for you to have any children now? Well, I do plan on getting married in 3 months, though, and it's none of your business whether I have children or not. We were talking about how you were about to get back to work, right? What? You're getting married at the age of 43? Just what kind of pervert are you marrying? Are you sure you weren't getting scammed or something? He's probably just going to disappear with all your money one day. Are you sure this is a good idea, Rosita? I know exactly who I'm marrying, so you don't have to worry about me being scammed. I don't see a point in talking about my private affairs any longer. Come on, you're such a killjoy, Rosita. At least tell me how old this husband of yours is. No, I'll talk to the manager for you and tell him you're finished with the work he gave you, so get your next work from him. Huh? Fine. Rosita, I did a bit of investigation after our last conversation, but apparently you're marrying someone crazy, right? Huh? What do you mean crazy? Don't tell me, but did you seduce him into marrying you because you wanted money or something? Well, I guess that's obvious, I guess. Why else would someone want to marry a CEO? What in the world are you talking about? And no, I didn't marry my husband for the money, if that's what you're so interested in. Wait, aren't you supposed to be working right now? You're supposed to be working right now too, you know. Just tell me. How did you manage getting him to marry you? I just can't understand how a guy like that would want to marry you. An old hag in her 40s who's not even that attractive. Do your work. My marital affairs are none of your business. Come on, please, just tell me. If you don't, I'll just ask someone else, you know. I'm not going to reply anymore, all right? Get back to work. What? But I wanted to ask you so many questions. Hi, Rosita. I've got something to tell you. To tell you the truth, I think you're going to be very disappointed to hear this, but I'm currently on good terms with our CEO and have a very deep relationship with him. An old hag looking for money like you is a nuisance, to be honest. From now on, I can get the CEO to fire you anytime I want, so don't think that you can tell me what to do just because you're the department head anymore, all right? That's going to be a big mistake, since the CEO, he outranks you, obviously. To be honest, I'd rather you get fired as soon as possible and give up marrying into money like this. You were always nagging on me to do work anyways. You know what? I think I'll try and convince him to fire you right now.
Hey, Rosita, are you alright?
Huh? Hi, Lino. What are you talking about? I'm fine, I guess.
Are you sure? When I saw you at work today, you looked a bit strange.
Oh, yeah. So that's what you're talking about. I did pay a visit to your company today, didn't I?
Yeah, you seem to have something on your mind. Do you want to tell me about it? I wanted to talk to you in the office today, but I had a meeting right after that, so I couldn't.
Thanks for worrying about me, and I'm sorry for worrying you in the first place.
Don't worry about it. I'm going to be your husband soon, aren't I? If there's anything you want to tell me, I'll be here for you, alright? It's only a month and a half until our wedding, and you wouldn't want to have a problem in the back of your mind on the day of our wedding, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's something about work, which is why I didn't know exactly how much I'm allowed to tell you.
Just tell me what you can tell me then. I'm sure it will make you feel better. In my experience, talking about something that makes things a lot less scary or bothersome than it actually is. I'll stop you if you start saying anything that sounds like you shouldn't tell me, so just talk to me.
Yeah, I guess I do want to tell you about it a little. Especially because everyone at work seems to be wanting to avoid the topic because they're afraid as to what Fiorina might do to them if she finds out.
Yep, I'm listening.
Thanks. You see, there's this woman that joined our company during the middle of the work year, and she's very selfish and arrogant.
In a way?
She got into the company in the first place by using her connections with the senior executive director. She was a relative of his, you see, and apparently she thought that this made her better than the other employees. But it seems like she started going out with our CEO recently as well, and so she's become even more selfish and arrogant than she was before. She practically doesn't do any work and just sits in her chair watching YouTube or looking at her phone all day. It would be fine if that's all she did, since we could just ignore her, but she also keeps bothering the employees, telling them to bring her water or stuff. Not only that, but she seems to not be using earphones on purpose, because she enjoys watching the other employees be annoyed at her, but not being able to do anything. It seems like the other employees are finding it difficult to call her out on it since she's the CEO's girlfriend and a relative of the senior executive director. Because of that, it looks like I'm the only one nagging on her all the time, and the atmosphere in the office has become terrible.
I see. That does sound like quite a difficult situation. And what does the CEO himself have to say about this?
He's completely in love with her and lets her do whatever she wants. I mean, he was always doubted as to whether he was capable enough to be the CEO or not, but now it looks like he really was incapable of being the CEO. The only reason he was chosen in the first place was because his father was the CEO before him. This company has had a problem with incompetent people getting their positions by leveraging their connections. Anyways, the CEO is of no use anymore. It looks like he's been seduced by a 20-year-old woman and now does whatever she says.
What? 20 years old? Your CEO is 45 years old, right? I heard he's been single ever since he got divorced with his wife 10 years ago. They could be father and daughter if you just looked at their ages.
Yeah, I mean the two are completely fine with this age difference, so there's nothing really that outsiders like us can say. But just between us, I'm pretty sure that the only reason Fiorina, that's the name of the woman by the way, approached the CEO was for his money. Everyone's just pissed at the whole situation, and the worst part is that we don't know what to do about it besides just quitting our jobs.
I see. Hey, could you let me handle the situation instead? I think I know how to solve this problem.
What? You?
The chairman of your company is the current CEO's father, i.e. the former CEO, right?
Oh, yeah. That reminds me, you mentioned before that you were acquainted with the chairman, right?
Yep. I used to work with him when he was in charge of the company. He was a lot more competent than his son, I'll tell you that. I can't tell you the exact details of what I'm planning yet, though. You see, I was drinking with the chairman once, and he told me this joke that was at the same time half serious. It was something about how he failed in raising his son, and how he wouldn't make a good CEO, despite trying to raise him for the position. He said that he thought it was in the company's best interest if they just hired some random employee from the office. At the time, he didn't have the proper motive to set things into motion. But if he hears how his son, the CEO, was having a bad effect on the company like this, I'm sure he's going to make the decision immediately.
If there's a chance that things will change for the better, then it's better than just standing here and watching, I guess.
Yep, I'll talk to the chairman first, so just wait a bit, alright?
I understand. I'm counting on you then. Rosita, is it true that you're going to have your wedding today? But you got dumped by him, didn't you? Why are you going to have a wedding then? I can't believe it. You're even more pitiful than I thought. Is your head all right? I mean, are you seriously going to throw a wedding even though the groom won't be there? You scare me, Rosita. Oh, I get it. You're going to have a mannequin in the place of the CEO, right? That's even more scary. Good morning, Fiorina. What in the world are these texts that you've been sending me? What do you mean the groom isn't going to be here? I mean, I went to the wedding with the groom, and we're currently preparing for the ceremony together. What? You're even pretending to prepare for the wedding with the mannequin? Jesus. You're delusional on a dangerous level, Rosita. I mean, I knew you weren't in your right mind the moment I heard you were trying to marry him so that you could have some of his money, even though you're just an unattractive hag in her 30s, but I didn't know you were actually insane. I mean, it's even more scary because on the outside, you look like a functioning adult, but on the inside... Delusional? What are you even talking about, Fiorina? You have quite the imagination, I'll give you that at least. I mean, I'm currently with the CEO, you know. It's no use lying to me because there's no way he could be at your wedding at the same time. Huh? You already know that I'm dating the CEO, right? I mean, everyone in the office knows already. Yeah, I know that, but I think now is a good time to make things straight. It's disgusting to think that an old hag like you is about to become the CEO's wife. He says himself that he wants to make me, the cute 20-year-old girl, his wife. Oh, is that so? Which is why you have no choice but to cancel today's wedding. But how does you dating the CEO have anything to do with my wedding? What? Are you crying sour grapes now? What? Are you going to tell me that you weren't actually dating the CEO? Fiorina, could it be the case that you think the person I'm marrying is our CEO? Of course! I mean, you always nag me to do my work, right? It pissed me off so much that on top of being annoying, you were going to marry the CEO, which is why I stole him from you. I'm going to become the CEO's wife now as well, so it's a two birds in one stone situation, right? By the way, to make sure that you wouldn't be able to steal him back no matter what, we went to the city hall on Thursday and turned in our marriage papers. I see. So that's what you were after. Don't say that like you weren't after his money yourself. I still don't know how you managed to get engaged to him in the first place, but I guess that doesn't matter now. Sucks to be you, I guess. If you've understood already, then why not just cancel the wedding? No matter how hard you try, you're not going to get your groom. Just thinking that you're about to have a wedding ceremony with a mannequin from now makes me cringe. Seriously, you should consider entering a mental institution or something. Or is it that you're just getting old and aren't able to think straight anymore? Fiorina, that person isn't the CEO, you know. What? He's not the CEO anymore, to be exact. Why not? You weren't at work this Friday, right? That's probably why you don't know about it yet. It was decided in a meeting of board of directors that the current CEO was going to lose his position. Huh? I didn't hear anything about this from him. Yeah, well, it looks like he's been keeping secrets from you. Oh, and your relative, the senior executive director, felt responsible for the situation and voluntarily resigned. Huh? My uncle resigned? But he was the only one of my relatives that was willing to help me. Why was the CEO fired in the first place? To put it simply, the CEO was released from his position because he wasn't doing his job as the CEO and instead spent all his time with you instead. What? But he's the CEO. They can't just do this to him. Do you know how much he sacrificed? I can't really guess as to what it is exactly that he sacrificed. I mean, he's always been incompetent at his job, and ever since he started dating you, he began not coming to work entirely. Seriously, have you ever heard of a CEO that doesn't go to work because he's going on a date with his girlfriend? Also, he didn't do anything about how you used your position as the CEO's girlfriend to get away with not doing any work at the office, right? Do you even know how much this adversely affected everyone else in the office? Well, I guess you do know that, huh? I mean, you did purposefully not use earphones when you were watching YouTube because you enjoyed annoying the other employees. What do you mean adversely affected? Aren't you being a bit too mean to me? And what's with that accusation anyways? What? I can't not use earphones anymore just because you guys are working? I'm not on the same level as you peasants, remember? Besides, aren't you just being jealous right now? You're just trying to scare me because I stole your spot as the CEO's wife, aren't you? No, all of what I'm telling you right now is true. You can ask the board of directors yourself if you want. It's not like I'm the one who had him fired. Not only that, but you seem to be making a big misunderstanding, so I'll correct you. It's true that I'm marrying a CEO, but not our CEO, okay? He's the CEO of our business partner. What? But I was told that you were marrying the CEO! You probably misheard. By the way, they're our largest business partner, so you probably know the company name. My groom today is the CEO of A Corporations. He's the one who's going to become my husband, not our former CEO. Huh? But isn't A Corporations a bigger company than our own? It's also famous how the CEO is a 39-year-old and extremely handsome. You're marrying that handsome CEO, Rosita? How did you even get a man like that to marry you? Yes, I was very lucky to have found such a great man. You see, I would often go to their office to discuss business negotiations, which is how I met the CEO. Huh? But that doesn't explain why he chose you specifically. I don't get it. What does he see in an old hag like you? This is so unfair. Give him to me. I'll give you my boyfriend in return. I don't think I need to even bother replying to that, but no thanks. Humph. You say that now, but you're not going to be so confident anymore when I steal him from you. It's certain that he's going to fall for me instead once he sees me, who, unlike you, am young and pretty. All right, then why don't you come to our wedding and try stealing him from me? You'll probably just waste a lot of time and money, though. Of course I'll come. Where's the wedding venue? Guam. What? But the wedding's going to be done by the time I get there, right? Well, yes. Hold on. You're getting married abroad? Jesus, and to think that me and that old bum didn't even have a wedding ceremony. It must be nice marrying an actual CEO, huh? I can't talk to you any longer about this because the ceremony is about to start. So, if you'll excuse me. What even is that? You're just an old hag, but you're going to become the wife of the CEO of A Corporations? And you're having a wedding ceremony abroad? And I just got married with a regular dude who's not even the CEO anymore. This is so unfair. It seems that our company's former CEO was allowed to remain in the company as a regular employee. Apparently, the former CEO was quite the needy husband. Ever since Fiorina proposed getting divorced because she was now unsatisfied with her current situation, he's become extremely possessive of her. Not only that, but his mother, who was as possessive as her son, moved in with them, and she got pregnant under her supervision. Fiorina was forced to quit her job after this. Not only that, but since her parents had already gotten divorced, she had nowhere else to go, since even her uncle, the former senior executive director and the only relative of hers that hadn't thrown her away yet, gave up on her after she made a mess inside the company. She couldn't run away from her husband and his mother even if she wanted to. I once saw Fiorina, now pregnant, and the former CEO in town while walking at night. But the sight of Fiorina was an expression of complete despair, walking 3 steps behind the former CEO, who in contrast with his wife had a huge smile on his face, was nothing but pitiful. I, on the other hand, started my own business after this whole mess. My husband helps me run my new company, and I'm currently enjoying my new job and my new life as a married woman.
Jill, when are you going to be coming back to my brother's house after being at your parents' place for so long?
Hi there, Maya.
His name's Little Man, right? Well, it's been 3 months now since you gave birth to Little Man there, right?
Little Man? Yeah. There have been a few things going on here, and so I haven't been able to leave just yet.
And my older brother is all right with you just staying there for that long and never coming back to him?
Of course he is. and I'm not going to be here too much longer. Actually, it was him that told me to stay here a bit longer in the first place. I had some things that I needed help with, as well as needing to help with.
Oh, is that so? So that's what's been going on there.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing in particular. I didn't mean to make that seem like anything, actually. I just thought that since it's been so long since you've left your parents' place, maybe you and my brother ended up getting a divorce or something serious? LOL.
I see. Well, there's nothing like that going on between us, so don't worry. Your brother and I still love one another very much, and have even had a baby now to prove that.
Well, that's too bad, actually. LOL.
Ugh, it was only a matter of time. I knew you'd say something like that, Maya. I'm sure that you're trying to mess with me to make your feelings for me known, but because of how much you hate me for no reason, it's actually quite funny, LOL.
What?
Looks like my boy is waking up now, so I have to go and see if he needs any food. See ya! Axel, thank you for coming over here a few days ago. It was nice of you to bring all those snacks for us, as well as the blanket I'd asked for.
Hey, Jill, don't worry about it. How's your mum's lower back been doing? I know it was in pretty rough shape the last time I came over. Seems like she was still having a tough time bending over to grab things.
Actually, she's gotten a whole lot better now, which is a huge surprise for me. And I feel that me not being around the house anymore might be all right with her. She seems to have a hang on things again, and doesn't really ask me to help her either now. And she's even able to help my dad again, so that's some miraculous progress.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
But based on timing, there's still another 2 weeks, right? I know that I'll have to come back there at least once soon, but having to bring the baby with me might make it a bit of a challenge, and he's so used to being here now.
You have a good point there. I'm sure you want to get everything you need to taken care of quickly as possible. So it's better to not have our baby mixed in all the commotion.
Well, while I go, I'll make sure that my parents keep a good eye on him, and see if he even notices me being gone. That way I'll have my hands free and should get everything handled within a day.
Oh, well, if you do that, he might be alright. If you don't have a problem with doing that, then I'm totally on board.
Then I'll go ahead and have a talk with my parents about that and the plan. Since my mom's back is getting better, I think she won't mind spending the day alone with her grandbaby. LOL.
Alright. And when you have more details on what will happen with that, let me know. Now I need to start getting back to my office to finish up today's work.
Okay. Thank you for everything, Axel, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Jill? Are you on your way here right now?
Yeah? I took off just a half an hour ago in the car. And I'm at a rest stop right now going to the bathroom before getting back on the road.
I see.
Did something happen that I should be aware of?
Well, something that's a bit of a problem has come up. I was just asked to come into work today out of nowhere. I was told by my manager that one of our systems is having some issues and that I'm the only one that should know how to handle and fix said issue.
Oh, is that so? Well, that kind of hampers our plans a little.
I think if the issue is what I think it is, then I'll be able to come back home by later this evening.
All right. I'll do what I can when I arrive at the house. It'll probably take me a bit longer because I won't have you around to handle the heavy stuff.
I'm sorry about this, but try and take it easy. If need be, you can call my uncle, and I'm sure he'll come to help.
I'll see how everything goes for me first. Good luck with work today, and I hope you're able to fix that issue soon.
Jill! You're coming over right now, right? But be warned that you're not going to be able to get inside the house. Because this house is now going to be my house. I've already gone and sold all your things to a pawn shop just a bit ago, and used the money from your things to pay for the moving truck to bring all my furniture and stuff. LOL. Man, I was kicked out of that apartment I'd been living in before by myself, and this whole time I was looking for a good place to move into. But because of you guys, I've been able to move from that musty one-room apartment into this large and open place. I'm so lucky. Ah, and another thing. This house is going to be where my boyfriend and I start our romantic lives together, so you are not allowed to even step onto the property. LOL. Goodbye! LOL.
What? Maya, what's all this about? What is this about a huge and open house? That's...
You're finally responding to me. You took so long to reply, LOL.
I was in my car driving home. But right now I've stopped at a gas station to take a break and grab some food. Maya, what are you doing in some stranger's house right now?
I told you. Starting today and going forward, I'll be living here with my boyfriend. In other words, you no longer have a house of your own, so go on back to your parents' house, please. LOL.
How did you get into the house with it being locked? I don't ever remember you having a key to the place.
When we were all back at my parents' house a while back, I found the key in my brother's key case and stole it out of there for a few hours to make a duplicate.
You've gone and done yet another needless thing. Why would you do something like that?
Because you and my older brother are going to be getting divorced, right?
Huh? Why would we do anything like that?
Because the reason for you taking so long to come back to my brother is that you wanted to stay there with your parents because you don't love my brother anymore, right? And I've noticed that ever since you went back to your parents' place, my brother had to go there more and more often. That right there is something a man would do when he realizes that his wife is never coming home and wants a divorce. LOL.
I can see that you've really gone off the rails and started making up a fake scenario, but there's a reason for me staying at my parents' house a bit longer. There have been a few things going on here that required me to stay.
What are those few things?
Well, to start off, after having my son, my health wasn't doing too well and my energy wasn't coming back. And after around 2 months of slowly getting my energy back and planning on going home, my mom ended up pulling her lower back pretty badly. And since I still had a bit of time left before I needed to go back to work, I decided I'd stay with my parents a bit longer and help my mom around the house.
But my brother has been wanting to get a divorce now too, right? I know that for sure.
Because I was at my parents' house for a longer time?
That's right.
I'm sorry, but you're just making things up now.
I know I just told you this a second ago, but I took all your things and sold them to the nearby pawn shop. LOL. So now there's not a single thing of yours left in this house for you to get. LOL.
I can see that you're set on the idea that all of those things you just sold were my things. The furniture, the appliances, clothing, and so on.
That's right. LOL. When I came into this house, there was nothing in any of the other rooms besides the one with all your things. So I assume my brother already moved out and back to my mom and dad's place to prepare for the divorce. LOL.
Well, all of that was stuff that I didn't need.
Huh?
A while back, we had planned on moving out of that house. While I was back at my parents' home waiting to have my baby, Axel worked to get the house all packed up so that we could move out. And that room closest to the front door was just where we placed all my unneeded things. And all the things we planned to have taken to our new house is being kept in a storage unit close by to the house.
Huh? Is that right?
I'm sure when you went and sold the desk in there and my drawers, there was nothing in them, right? Did you not notice that?
Now that you mention it, the person at the pawn shop never said anything about needing to remove anything from inside them.
And another thing, I was planning on coming back to that house to finish cleaning all of my stuff up and selling it myself, as well as to clean out the house and make it look relatively new again. But now that you've done a lot of that, you've helped me a bunch. LOL.
Huh?
And so, for getting that all taken care of for me, you can go ahead and use the money you made selling my leftover things on whatever you want. Wait, could that have all been you trying to mess with me again by thinking that you could force me out of the house? Well, thanks for that.
What the heck? You're just trying to act all tough now because I've stolen your house. LOL. Well, no matter what you try to say to me, my boyfriend and I are making this house ours now, and we're going to renovate it any way we please.
Okay, do whatever you want with the place.
You're still going to act tough in front of me? LOL. I'm not going to feel bad for you after doing this, so don't get your hopes up that you'll get the house back. Ha! We have already changed the name on the front of the house to ours, and we've gotten rid of all your things in this place. So no matter what, no matter how you try and cope with it, this is my house. If you come here, we'll call the police on you. LOL.
I still have some things to say.
What now? Huh?
You can do whatever you want there, but only for today.
Huh?
I was only planning to use today to clean the place out and fix any issues that still might have plagued the house. But now that you guys have done most of that for me, I'll be handing the house back to the landlord tomorrow.
Huh? Hand it over? To the landlord? Jill? What is going on now? An old man just came here and kicked the two of us out of the house. And just before he had the two of us kicked out, he told us to both clean all the corners of the house until it shined and there were no more stains. And everything we had just moved inside today, all the furniture and appliances, he had us take them all outside and into the yard. I had just made our room into a cute and beautiful space for my boyfriend and I, and that man had us tear it all down and ruin it. And at the end of all this, my boyfriend yelled at me saying he never asked to have something like this happen to him, and he ran off. What is wrong with this geezer?
You still don't understand?
What am I supposed to understand after all of this?
Do you know who the owner of that house actually is?
I do. This house belongs to my brother, right? He was the one that bought this whole house the moment you got married to him. I remember how it was so old and run down when he first bought it, but then he did a huge reformation on the house and made it look so nice that even I was jealous of it. And that's why I've come to take it now.
Well, that house is the place that your brother and I have been renting from a distant uncle of yours.
Huh?
Jeez. I'm glad that I kept the fact that we were moving out a secret from you and your family for a while. If I'd told you about this all sooner, you might have started to act like even more of a spoiled brat, and we might have had to call the police on you or something for trying to trespass.
Why would you do that?
Because you'd be trespassing. Well, actually, you still have been since that's not our house. Maya, really, you've really done it this time.
You're lying, right? Axel! Where did you and Jill move to now? Tell me the address, please.
What do you want? I don't have time for you right now, Maya.
I tried to talk with Jill some more about this, but I think she's gone and blocked me now. So I can only talk to you now, Axel.
By the way, just a few days ago, didn't our uncle have you taken care of after going into his house?
Well, I don't want to be around him anymore, and that's why I'm going to come to you now.
You think so?
At this point, I'd even be okay with living around some ugly hag like Jill, because I'd at least have a place to sleep. Ugh, if I don't hurry up, he's going to come and get me again. Tell me where your new house is now.
You think I'm going to let you come and live with us after you said such horrible things about my wife?
Huh?
For a while now, the two of us have been wanting to go overseas. And I think it's about that time.
Overseas?
Yep. I'm sure you were aware that I work in the same company as Jill does. But for a while now, we've had plans on moving out of the country to go live somewhere in Europe with our baby boy. So we're in New York at the moment, staying in a company house, getting some training so we can be relocated to an office over there.
New York? That's too far for me to drive all the way to.
Stop acting like a brat and go back to your uncle. I'm sure that he's willing to let you start working for a company he owns even.
He told me that I'd have to go to every floor of the office building and clean all the toilets on each floor for him, and I can't use the elevator.
Really? Well, that seems like a good way to get you to stop acting so spoiled and learn how to become a responsible young adult.
It's not good.
Do your best, Maya.
I don't want to.
That last conversation that my husband and his sister had over text was later shown to me by him. But right after that, he told me that he really wants to move overseas now and get away from his sister as soon as possible. But I told him we still have training to complete yet, and that I want our boy to at least be 1 year old before we go, and so he'll have to wait. LOL. And as for Maya, who's now under the care of her distant uncle who's even allowed her to work for him, she's doing just as she'd said, and is having to clean toilets on every floor of that office building 3 times a day. And since she never was the kind of person to go out a lot and move, her body had a hard time keeping up with the stairs she had to go up and down, leaving her in pain as her muscles cramped up. But I've heard from Axel that the next thing his uncle has planned for her is that once she's gained the strength to start getting all the cleaning done on time, he'll begin to give her even more tasks so that she never feels the job is easy. And by doing that, she'll hopefully begin to have a change of heart and realize that she can't force her way into everything without there being consequences. I just hope that plan works, and that one day my son can meet his only aunt back in the US. But if that can't happen, it's probably for the better. LOL.